What if The Last of Us Part 2 didn't end with Ellie disappearing into the wilderness, but instead becoming the world's final hope? Today on Beyond the End, we explore a brand new ending, one that jumps forward 10 years and sets the stage for a highly intense and emotional Last of Us Part 3. If it was to be made, of course. If you love alternate timelines, rewritten fates, and endings that hit even harder, you're in the right place. Want more videos like this? Drop your suggestions in the comments. And of course, hit the like and subscribe. Might as well, you're already down there. Now, time to see how Last of Us Part 3 could have been. In this ending, after sparing Abby on the beach, Ellie doesn't return to Jackson. Instead, she wanders Santa Barbara, searching for meaning, until she's captured, but then freed by a surviving Firefly medic. He recognizes her immediately, but not as a threat, instead as a key that they lost years ago. Ellie decides she wants to finally help the world and allows him to do examinations on her. During the tests, they realize Ellie's immunity hasn't faded, it has evolved. Instead of sacrificing Ellie like in the first game, they decide to continue to run tests over a longer period on her blood to create the possibility of multiplying the cure. Ellie will not have to be a martyr. She can actually cure the world and survive. For the first time since Joel's death, Ellie chooses something for herself. Not revenge, not guilt. She chooses purpose. 10 years have passed. The world hasn't changed. Unfortunately, it's changed for the worse. Cordyceps have mutated again, more airborne, more aggressive. Humanity now survives in scattered pockets. Efforts to rebuild the world continually fail due to the inevitable cycle of war and distrust. Ellie is now 32, older, wiser, scarred. She spent a decade helping the Fireflies rebuild, not as a weapon, but as their last immune subject. A beacon of hope, but with a ticking clock. Their research has progressed beyond what anyone thought possible. Ellie's unique antibody can slow multiple strains, but the tests are killing her as she ages. Dina never left Jackson. She rebuilt her life. She's part of the settlement council. And JJ, now 10 years old, is bright, sharp, and curious, just like Ellie. He knows Ellie existed, but not the whole truth. Dina watches him and sees pieces of Ellie everywhere. The stubbornness, the bravery, the fire. Across the country, for the last decade, Abby and Lev have done the opposite of creating destruction. They've helped towns survive attacks, liberated slave camps, and defended people who have had nothing. Lev has grown into a skilled scout and protector. Abby, she's hardened, but calmer, more reflective. Then one day, they hear a rumor. The immune girl is alive after all these years, and the Fireflies are making progress. Abby and Lev journey to the Firefly base. On their journey, they come across newly mutated clickers. The cordyceps have now learned to spread amongst animals. Imagine infected birds that attack you as a swarm if you make a single sound. Or infected crocodiles that stalk you on land and then drag you to the closest sinkhole. And infected bears. I mean, nothing is scarier than infected bears. They also come across new factions, some that are kind and some not so kind. Abby and Lev finally reach the Firefly camp, but to their detriment, the camp is on high alert. The Fireflies warned them that Ellie has been kidnapped by a faction that has triple the manpower of the Fireflies, WLF and Fedra at full power. And so the cycle of war continues. Ellie just about escapes from the grips of the overpowered faction, but now she is displaced in a city she is not used to. From her perspective, we see how the infection has developed in a new part of America, and as players, we must redevelop and strengthen Ellie since she has been out of the fight for 10 years. Will Ellie find her way back to the Firefly base before the mutation kills her? Will Abby and Lev find Ellie before she is killed by the Hellbent world? And will Dina and JJ reunite with Ellie after 10 years? In Last of Us Part 3, the story could play out from 3 different perspectives instead of 2. Although, I do think this could make the story a bit too convoluted, especially since there's 3 different stories that you have to follow and 3 different worlds you're basically exploring. Potentially making the story shorter, for example making each perspective about 6 hours long, could make this style work. So what do you guys think? Should Naughty Dog pick up The Last of Us again and finish it as a trilogy sometime in the future? Would a time jump and a desperate race for the cure make the perfect part 3? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and check out my Red Dead Redemption alternative ending, If John Marston Survived. In that ending, he teams up with his son. It's a pretty cool video. Until next time, keep questioning what lies beyond the end.